Well guys, I guess it's been about 2 weeks since we were in here last, did the pond expansion, dredged all this out and through here. The good news is Mike's been down here, Mike's been down here several times with his boat. He's able to launch just fine here, able to motor on out. And basically we accomplished all the goals Mike wanted to accomplish with that. The bad news is, since we last did that, it has rained several times. And this material is not quite as dry as what I'd hoped for it to be. It has dried out some, but it's still pretty wet. You guys can see all the water standing here. This is basically from all the rain. So I don't know how far we're gonna be able to get along this morning, but they're calling for a whole bunch more rain this coming week. So I'd like to at least get this maybe graded out enough to where it stops holding water right here. This stuff was so mushy and so gummy and so soupy, grading it was not an option at all before. But as you guys can tell, it has dried out some where it's been kind of sitting up on the bank and stuff. So we're gonna fill the majority of this hole in so it no longer holds water, basically eliminate it. We do need to leave, there is one ditch that comes down through there. We do need to leave it open enough. There's a culvert underneath that right there. So I think we'll start it on this side first and then see how it goes. Hop over, that's where we dumped. This is all the stuff we pushed with the 850. And that side over there is all the stuff we dumped with Bubba Dump. So we got the old 850B here and the D4. It has been, I was trying to think the other day, I think it's been almost a year since I've ran the 850B. So yeah, looking forward to hopping on that thing, getting some seat time. Not looking forward to bouncing over all these rocks. So let's get this dozer fired up and get the party started. Man, it is finally supposed to warm up later today, but look at that. That is frost on this thing, and it is literally the middle of April. It's not supposed to be that cold here. What is going on, people? Global warming. It's kicking us in the butt right now. All right. She's a little cool this morning. Hopefully she cranks. Come on, baby. Oh, you can do it. got to be some of the absolute nastiest stuff to push. Of course, we got these big old random rocks in there. It's just sticky and gooey to start with. There's just nothing, absolutely, there's just nothing pleasant about that at all. So it's obviously going to be too wet to finish, but those piles that we had stacked up are even a little wetter than what I thought they were. So I think what the plan is going to be for this morning is we need to go through and just try to get it placed as closely as we can. Going for sun today, sun half day tomorrow. I think this stuff will dry out pretty quick if we just get it turned up and get it to bake in the sun a little bit. So I'm gonna throw you guys up on time lapse here a little bit. I'm gonna try to get this pile somewhat smoothed out, and then we'll go over there. I think that one over there is gonna be better, but let's see what we can do with this one first. Well, I'm not gonna call that pretty, guys, but I'm gonna call that a win. I don't know if you can see on the time lapse how much I was on the struggle bus, man. Me and the old 850 were getting some quality time together, jumping over these rocks. Let me tell you. But long story short, I think that is graded out good enough. Obviously, most of the material's where it needs to be. There's gonna be some ruts out there. I was sinking almost 2 feet deep. But if we get one of these heavy rains, it's not going to hold a whole lot of water. It's not going to be a whole lot of ponding like there was before. It's spread out a lot better, so if the sun stays out, we'll be able to get in here maybe one last time, hopefully before it rains. Today's Saturday. They're calling for a little bit of rain tomorrow, maybe Monday afternoon. If we don't get a whole lot of rain Sunday, we can come down here at the D4 and kind of just do a final pass on this and kind of polish it all up. But we're going to leave well enough alone here. I don't think there's much more we can do. That's about as far as we can go. Let's jump over on the other side over there and see if we can start getting those piles busted out a little bit. And I think those are going to be a little bit more forgiving, but you never know. So this is all the material we hauled up here with Bubba Dump and dumped. I'm hoping it's a little bit drier. It don't seem to have quite as much water standing in it, but walking on it still feels pretty squishy underneath my feet. So what we're going to want to do with this, we dredged out back to that cedar tree right there, if you guys remembered. So we're going to leave that ditch open down through there. You guys kind of see that water's pretty clear. We're going to leave that ditch open down through there. We're going to take this material, fill it down to the ditch, kind of slope this whole hillside in right here, and smooth it on up a little bit, and we can fill in this area right here a little bit if we need to. So that's kind of the plan. Probably going to be the same plan of attack. We're going to get it somewhat roughed in. Hopefully the sun will bake it. We'll get down here and get it dried out. But man, it's looking good. That actually went a lot better than I thought it was going to after we got started. I was a little worried we got started. That's pretty nasty. let me tell you guys, I was horribly mistaken thinking that was going to be drier over there than what this was over here. I thought for a few times I was going to have to call for help. It was pretty soft, pretty sticky, but well, that being said, I was able to at least kind of get it knocked down, get it smoothed out a little bit. Hopefully these rains coming, if I don't get back to it, it'll keep it from holding water. Kind of went around, just back drug everything around the edge of the pond here. Like I said, it is not perfect. It still needs to dry out quite a bit. This over here is draining pretty good. It's progress. Let's call it progress. So, long story short, let's let the sun do its thing. Hopefully we can get a day or two. They're calling for scattered showers, so hopefully we can get a day or two and miss those showers. Then we get a final grade on this, and we're good to go. Well, guys, we are back to beat our head against the wall with a different dozer. It's been about 3 weeks since we were down here last. They're calling for a whole bunch of rain tomorrow. It still looks a little bit wet out there in places, but I think it's time to see. It's time to see if we can get this thing finished up. So, got the little D4 down here. Let's go time, baby. Let's do it. All right, I don't know how well this is gonna work. We're gonna try to work as much of this material towards that hole as we can. A special Pepsi delivery, man?
Yeah, come a long way.
You come a long ways for this.
I come a long way for my milk this weekend.
What in the world are you doing over here?
Well, come back and see how things have progressed, and I mean, this is all looking a lot better. That wasn't done last time either.
No. I don't know if I got any video on my channel of you running the drag line. I don't think I filmed that day.
Yeah, well, as I said, the thing about that drag line was that you know, it's one of probably the only pieces of equipment I've never ran, never even been on one. And with Chris and yourself, that was a special day. That ticked a big box for me, because I could never really, until you get on one, you cannot figure out.
You cannot comprehend
what that's about. It's not like any other machine.
Yeah. And
once you're on it, you just go, oh, I see.
Yeah, you're gonna find it's hard to believe we dug that whole area out with that drag line.
Well, let's face it, back in the day,
that's all they had.
All they had.
Yeah,
that was a massive step forward.
Yeah,
you know. So,
this has been a work in progress. Well, welcome back, Mr. Lord Muck.
No, just wonderful. I just love the States. You know that. I'm not going to hide any secrets about that. Love being here.
Well, yeah, well, we love having you. So we're gonna put you to work for it. It's over with.
Okay.
You're not gonna get off scot-free.
I gathered that.
All right, we kind of got our backs up against the wall. They're calling for a bunch of rain. As you guys can tell, it is not as dry as I'd hoped it'd be over here, but it still looks better than what it did before. So we're gonna knock her out, and make her happen. It's starting to come around, guys. It's still a little bit wet and soft out there, but I think we're gonna get it close enough. The Mike's gonna be able to get it with his tractor, which is gonna be the main thing. Figured why Kurt's here, I might as well put him to work and see what he's got on the dozer. I don't think Jerry's job's in danger, but he's doing pretty doggone good. If you guys haven't checked out Lord Muck's channel, you need to jump over and check it out. He's got some really cool content, and he's just a really cool personality, to be honest with you. He's over here visiting myself and Diesel Creek and a few others, and hopefully do a podcast with him here at some point. So if you guys want to hear his full story, have to check out the podcast channel, A Few Points from Perfect. But this is coming around pretty good. For me, it was 3 weeks ago. For you guys, it was the beginning of this video, but you remember how big a mess this was. So all in all, we're getting there slowly. Just waiting for Kurt to hit one of those great big rocks here and go bouncing off the seat. This is some miserable pushing. But we're getting it. We're making progress, folks. We're making progress. You guys will have to comment down below, let me know what you think, but I think it looks pretty comfortable up there. I'm telling you, fighting these big rocks mixed in with all this stuff, being wet and pumpy. I'm pretty sure if you look up in the dictionary, miserable, there's a picture of this job site right next to it. Guaranteed. We're gonna get her though, one way or another. Nicely done, Lord Muck. Well, not too shabby there for your first time, sir.
Yeah, I mean, it's completely different controls to conventional tiller and all that, but
it's nothing fancy, but it's not a bad little dozer.
you know, it's powerful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's very controllable.
But this stuff, as you said, so that all the rock in this is literally dredged out of there.
Yep.
That's awful stuff to play on.
Oh, it's horrible. So, I don't know if you noticed right there, if you go in the market, there's a picture there above our table.
Yeah, saw that this morning.
So right there, that machine was sitting right here in that picture. And this pit, so I'm gonna try to explain this the best I can. So right here below us, there was a 70-foot deep pit. And you can see the end of the high wall right there. Then when we kind of stop on the other side of that solid rock, that's the end of the high wall.
Okay.
So they blasted this off, they would land in here.
Okay.
They blasted that off, it's actually up there because they didn't dig the pit out. So that's why there's that big rundown through there. So then we dug this out, you got all the old down the bottom, then they come back and capped it with clay, and then they capped it with rock. Okay. So we basically dug down until we started getting into the old blast rock and quit. So that's why you got that clay mixed in with the gravel, mixed in with the bigger rocks.
The rocks, yeah, I mean, that is
miserable.
The old kidneys. But, but no, I think, you know, another sort of, have an afternoon on that, you'd really get you, just because everything's to hand on it. It's a nice machine, nice size, for the power. It's just like you say, that's where you go with it, isn't it? Because like now there, you've got that ridge, you've got to be actually cutting that and folding it back that way. Right. But it'd still be nice to fill that.
Everybody always says, I don't know why you got a small dozer, just get a skid steer. You cannot do this with a skid steer.
No, that would, the size that said, even with that, you see it get thrown up and down, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, all right, well, we about got her. I think we're going to go into time-lapse mode, knock this out, and call her a job. Guys, we finally got her. If you can't tell, we actually bled into a whole new week. This job has been just absolutely miserable. It's been a fun, very cool, very interesting, very challenging job, but the conditions, man, anybody that's ever operated small equipment bouncing over rocks, yeah, it gets your attention. I'm glad this one's wrapped up, and guys, honestly, it turned out really good. I was able to get a little bit of actual gravel, kind of skim coat all that. Looks really good. Got that all feathered out really nice. That spoil pile back there is cleaned up. We're going to give that about a 95%. Long story short, the owner can now get down here with this tractor and his little grader blade and stuff and really fine tune what little bit he wants to do. Over there where Lord Muck was helping us at, that is probably about 85%. The upper part is really good, drains good. Had one little small hole we pushed the material up in. That little creek slough area over there, it still needs to dry out a little bit. What we fight is one, the rain, but two, when we get heavy rains like we've had, this actually raises and all goes underneath water. I think there's some video of that in the mud management video, and just saturates all this, and it takes a while for it to drain out. Eventually, it'll seal up and turn into almost concrete, and we'll be good to go. But yeah, I'm gonna go home and give my kidneys a rest from bouncing around so much. If you guys haven't, go check out Lord Muck's channel. Really cool, interesting guy, and he's got some really cool content. I'll try to link him down below. Appreciate him stopping by, hanging out for a couple days, and giving us a hand. But yeah, we're out of here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, big old thumbs up. We'll make sure you don't miss out on what's coming up next. Consider subscribing. That way we'll catch you on the next one. Later, guys.